Welcome to the interactive Body Balance radio show for health and fitness tips.
Welcome back to Interactive Body Balance Radio. I'm your host, Mike Dasick, and thank you guys so much for joining our show today from around the world, where we talk health, fitness, nutrition, and personal development. Been a little while, team. I think it's probably been a week and a half. I think the show is going to air on December 5th, 2020. So we are getting close to Christmas. School will be out soon for the people that have, the kids in school. Ours are being homeschooled, as you know, because it's the COVID-19 crisis still ongoing. And we're just busy, right? Everybody's busy trying to live life, get things done. I understand it. We're working 14, 15-hour days. Throw that in there with all the kid stuff we talked about and life, just being life, right? But as you can imagine, and I say this because I do get the emails, texts, phone calls every single day from lots of people inquiring about health, inquiring about chronic disease, hormonal issues, weight gain, gut issues, autoimmune issues. I like to share what I get from people, because that way we can send it out to the masses and scale it. All right. So people are dealing with chronic disease. People are dealing with COVID. They're dealing with chronic COVID now, because it's been, out for probably a year now. They say 9 months, but it's been more than a year. And they're having some issues. As you know, let me just preface it here, right? I'm not your medical doctor. Don't misconstrue this as any medical advice. This is just information that I see working with hundreds of clients and patients. It's information I see in the literature. It's information that my peers put out, lots of reputable doctors, people that have been working with patients for decades and decades. And I want to give you guys stuff that's new, that's exciting, that's cutting edge, that seems to be working, that will give you hope, that will give you your life back, right? So let's just start off by saying that this is just an opinion. This is what I see. Always seek the advice of your medical doctor. But if I give you stuff here and I give you information, take it, research it, study it, ask questions, empower yourselves. I always fundamentally start with food, nutrition, lifestyle, right? Working out, sleep, environment, relationships. That's all. That all takes precedent. That's priority. But there's other modalities that work. There's other things that you can do to improve your chronic disease. And that includes chronic COVID. Right. So I think you guys know what nebulizers are, right? So nebulizers. Think of it as a puffer. People use a nebulizer to, if they have asthma, they use a puffer. That's a nebulizer, right? It can get pharmaceutical grade stuff into you. It can get supplements into you, right? That's what a nebulizer is. So what's been shown to help people with chronic disease, on top of all the other things I already mentioned, and your generic supplements too, and IVs and whatever, but it's taking glutathione via a nebulizer, right? So people know that glutathione, and I've talked about it probably 36 times on the show, it's referred to as the mother of all antioxidants, right? It's a main molecule in helping you and maintaining strong health, very prevalent in chronic disease. It directs chemical neutralization of damaging free radicals. It's a cofactor of several antioxidants. It's, one of approximately 7 liver phase 2 reactions. Transportation of mercury out of the cells in the brain. It's a regulation of cellular proliferation of apoptosis. What that means is natural and healthy cell death. Vital to mitochondrial health. Many mentors have used it. Dr. Hyman talks about it all the time. In using glutathione. But a nebulizer, as I said, the drug delivery service or the device that administers those medications, as I said before, pharmaceutical and nutraceutical, in the form of the mist inhaled into the lungs. And lots of great results and research showing how nebulizers are very helpful, if not the best mechanism. I know there's IV, I know there's supplement forms, so you just pop supplements too, but very helpful to use nebulizers to get glutathione into the body. Beneficial for, let's say, lung conditions, people with pulmonary issues all the time, chronic congestion, chronic rhinitis, chronic sinusitis, post-viral cough, bronchitis, pneumonia, get a nebulizer, get some glutathione, and try it out. All right. I already prefaced what I said at the start of the show, but always seek the advice of your medical doctor. But nebulizers are good forms of getting, the supplements into your body and into your lungs, especially where a lot of chronic disease starts, and chronic COVID. Right. I'm not going to end there though. You can use nebulizers for other forms of supplementation like vitamin C. People have used it for vitamin D. Go get yourself some hypertonic C minerals. If you so choose, colloidal silver. People have used that, and Quicksilver Scientific has some great colloidal silver. I love Quicksilver. I told you they are the best. Quicksilver Scientific, one of the best labs for detoxing and getting good quality supplements. But here's my point of this first phase of my podcast. Nebulizers are good. Getting good quality supplements like glutathione or vitamin C or vitamin D into your body via that mechanism is very helpful. Okay, that's the whole purpose. I do a lot of research on this, and I get a lot of notes, and I'm trying to, curate or summarize all of those notes into a 10-minute podcast. So if sometimes it seems disjointed or I'm glazing over something, it's because I understand I'm looking at hundreds of pages of notes, and I preface them into say 4 or 5 pages, and then I put that into a 10-minute podcast. You guys get the point. But so I summarize it there by saying, look at these ways to help you with chronic disease and make your life a little better, and especially, from using that in helping out your lungs, which are extremely important, especially in COVID, right, to making you feel better. All right, now another way to help out, and I'm going to go into this, I've talked about it before too, but how about peptides? You guys heard of peptides? I'll explain it if you haven't. I'll explain the different types. So peptides, short strings of I just did this on a call yesterday with another client, so I love doing it and explaining it. They're short strings of amino acids, roughly comprising of 2 to 50 amino acids. People know I've been around this. Amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, but proteins obviously contain many more, right? They contain more. Peptides are easier for the body to absorb than proteins because they are smaller, they're more broken down than the proteins, and they can easily penetrate the skin and intestines, which helps them enter into the bloodstream more quickly. What else about peptides? Chains of peptides that are fewer than 10 to 15 amino acids are called oligopeptides, right? You guys have heard that. And then there's dipeptides, tripeptides, tetrapeptides, and there's a reason why I'm going to say the next one. And a polypeptide is longer, continuous, unbranched peptide chain of up to approximately 15 amino acids. So remember polypeptides, okay? And they fall under different classes of polymers, and I said oligomers, etc. People may confuse the peptides, as I said before, with the proteins, but they're both made up of amino acids, right? And they're both naturally present in foods. And then there's also health benefits to this, as I've said before, and I'll get to it. Many supplements are available that contain peptides that manufacturers have derived either from those food or they've made synthetically. Get your peptides from food if you can, or really good quality supplements, okay? Some of the supplements, or foods, you get it from eggs, milk, meat, fish, beans, lentils, oats, seeds. You guys get it. And the scientists too are active are interested in the bioactive peptides because of the impact on human health. And as I've said before, I've talked about this. Collagen peptides benefit the skin health, reverse the effects of aging. Creatine peptides can build strength and muscle. I talked about creatine a few days ago on the podcast for brain health. Creatine is amazing for brain health. Just Google creatine and brain health studies. Even more impressive than creatine and muscle. But you guys get the point. Those are different peptides, right? So if I look at the collagen peptides and creatine, you can get those at the store. You can get them, right, as part of supplements for food. But what about chronic disease? Here's where we're going. I'm trying to lead you guys into this, right? Now we're looking at, remember I said before, right, polypeptides, and one in particular, thymosin alpha 1. Thymosin alpha 1, that's an immunomodulatory peptide, polypeptide, and it belongs to the thymic hormone, okay? And I'm going to give you some tips on, or some advice on this, or some information on the thymosin alpha 1 polypeptide. It's produced endogenously by the thymus gland, increases T-cell mediated immune responses by several mechanisms. It includes stimulation of T-cell differentiation, maturation, activation of natural killer cells and dendritic cells, and stimulation of the pro-inflammatory cytokine release. Pilot studies in patients with advanced melanoma have suggested that thymosin, right, may improve the efficacy of different regimens, right, and they have favorable adverse reactions to more than 2,000 individuals treated to date. It's been looked at for hepatitis B, C, AIDS, many other diseases. I'm just looking at here. It's so many diseases it's been involved in with good results. So think of this again, thymosin alpha-1. Why am I bringing this up? Okay, so thymosin alpha-1, I'll tell you in a second. People want to go deeper than what I've mentioned in the previous part of this podcast. So if you're looking at peptides and you want to get better with chronic disease, they're actually starting to use this now for many chronic diseases, but also chronic COVID. All right, and just Google that term because this is what's coming up now. So want to get better for chronic disease? All I'm saying is look at different peptides and polypeptides, and thymosin alpha-1 seems to be working for many peers I've talked to, right? They're using it in their practice. I am not. Why? A lot of these polypeptides and different forms of peptides require, you guys are going to hear it, right? A prescription. In Canada, they're illegal, right? For research purposes only. Okay, so different parts of the world have different legal requirements. You guys can work on that because this podcast does go all over the world. I'm just educating you on some different types of peptides that have been helpful for people. That's all I'm doing here. Just get you looking and researching, and then you can acquire or inquire, both of those words, as you so choose. Make sense? Another one is thymosin beta-4, small peptide with a G-actin sequencing action associated with angiogenesis, wound healing, increased metastatic potential of tumor cells, wound repairs. It's just, hair growth. You guys get the point. Thymosin beta-4. Look at those two. I believe Dr. Matt Cook has done a lot of work with this. I like to give you guys people who are working with these things and they use them in their practice. Again, I am not, but people are with great results. So Dr. Matt Cook is one of them. I think he's got his website out there too. I've been to it many times, and I will get it for you guys and send it. I guess put it in the show notes. I do it a lot there too, but I think it's biomedical research is his practice, but it seems like good work. Makes sense, folks? Where are we at now? So we're at 12 minutes, right? So bottom line here, this podcast, giving you some good tips, some healing tips that you can go deeper with, because I get these questions many times a day. So look at some of those, supplements you can nebulize as well. Good delivery form to get into your system. Look at some of those peptides and polypeptides that may help people. But always seek the advice of your medical doctor. I'm just giving you information to go look at and get the wheels turning and get yourself more educated and more well-versed in your issue that you're dealing with. Make sense? Again, feel free to share it with people who may need this. This is what we do. And I try to get them in short spurts, under 10 minutes. Stays a little longer because we had to go through a lot of information. All right. What do I want to leave you guys with? We've written a couple books. You can find them online. Just Google my name. I'm not going to go through them. I give out copies every single day. They're free on the website too. Definitely the Transformation from Within is free. I think the How to Restore Health is a couple dollars, but you guys get the point. Just Google it. Website's always MikeDasiak.com. I will be revamping it in the new year. I've already reached out to people and received quotes on that, so I say that because I'm going to be revamping it. MikeDasiak.com, interactivebodybalance.com, info@MikeDasiak.com is where we receive emails every day. And this is why we do it. I'll try to do 2 a week, folks. It's been really strenuous with work and family and everything, as I said, but I hope you like the shows. I do them to educate and give you guys basically hope and know that you can, if you look for the right solutions and look in the right areas, you will find them. That is what we do, right? That is what we do. And I'm going to conclude. What do I tell my kids every day? I'm going to go play with them all weekend, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to do great things. This is what I tell my kids. Kids, you got to work hard. No substitute for hard work. You got to put in the work. You got to do the research. You got to do the work. Friday nights, I'll be looking at research at 11 p.m. at night. Saturday morning. Doesn't matter, guys. Do the work. You got to put in the work. Number 2, you have to add value. You have value and skill set to this world. Please add it. Add it to the world. People need to hear what you're good at. They need to see. They need to hear. They need to know your skills, and you have to add your value to the world. You were put on this earth with a skill set, and you need to give it to the world. 3, help other people. Wow, I can't stress this enough. Give of your time, give of your money if you can, give of your resources, pull out chairs, open doors, just treat people well. Go out there and make a difference in the world and help other people, right? We try to do that every single day. All right, number 4, smile and have some fun. This is the last one. Go out and have some fun, team. Live it up. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as it's ethical, it's moral, go out and have a great time. Dance it up, party it up, liven it up. Just go do it, right? Too many people are suffering right now, and you got to go have some fun. I don't care if you go put on a dance party in your own home. If you don't own a home, go put on a dance party somewhere else, right? Have fun, all right? Team, take care. Live with passion, live with purpose, live with intent, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.